Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me for your daily collective message. This message will be for the next 24 to 48 hours. Spirit guides, what important message do we have for the collective for the next 24 to 48 hours, please? What important message do we have for the collective for the next 24 to 48 hours? Some of you guys could be listening to D'Angelo, the singer. We have the Three of Wands, or Three of Fire, and we have the Eight of Earth. So some of you guys are working really hard to accomplish a specific goal. There could be a job opportunity in the works, or you're creating a job for yourself by way of starting a business. Some of you guys feel very creative. You're feeling very resourceful. We have fire and earth, which is actually quite productive. So not only are you feeling inspired, you have the discipline and the skill and the knowledge to execute whatever it is that you're inspired to do. So this is like motivation meets preparation meets execution. So you get an idea in your head for a new business, a new project, a new idea, and you get to work immediately. There's no hemming and hawing, no procrastination, no what ifs. You're getting right to work. And you're able to get right to work because you already have all of the tools, skills, knowledge, and resources that you need at your disposal. All you need to do is put it together. Hold on. All you need to do is put all these things together in one package or one project, one idea. So this is really good. I'm seeing I don't want to say initiation of a new project. I think that could have been yesterday or a couple of days before. But perhaps over the past week or so, or a month or so even, you have thought about a new idea and now you're putting it into motion. You're going through the whole process of analysis and then development and then implementation and then execution. You're going through all of those stages of development. So this is like phase one. Phase one. You're building the structure or the framework or the foundation for whatever this is, either for a new job or, again, a creative project, writing, art, a song, music, a product or service. You're putting it into motion now. You're feeling more inspired. Spirit guides, what important message do we have for the collective for the next 24 to 48 hours? Lovers card. Okay. That's Gemini energy. Gemini is about... Okay, so I'm not seeing this as a romantic opportunity. I'm seeing this as like you integrating or combining two aspects of your identity, your skills, your knowledge to create one thing. Ace of Swords, yeah. This is not romantic. This is like, okay, I have a degree in computer science and I also have an interest in fashion design. Let me combine these two different disciplines into one project or idea. So there are two competing, or not say incompatible, but two totally different disciplines that you're interested in integrating into one to create this new service, project, job, something like that. Some of you guys could also be receiving news that you got a job offer. You were chosen between several other candidates. You were the preferred candidate, so you could be receiving some sort of job offer or communication that you are moving up to the next stage of the interview process. So it's now between you and one other person. You could have started out by competing against perhaps 15, 20 other people, and now you're passing each stage of the interview process. You're like phase 4, so it's now between you and someone else, potentially. Spirit guides, important message for the collective for the next 24 to 48 hours, please. Important message for the collective for the next 24 to 48 hours, please. Yeah, the Sun card, good news, good times, the Hangman. Okay, so this situation may take up more time than you would have initially thought, or there are a lot of factors that you have to consider before moving forward or proceeding to the next phase. So, for example, you have finished phase 1 of your project. Now you are analyzing, evaluating, and assessing and testing this phase to make sure that everything is in proper order before you move to the next phase. But you're happy with where you are. You're just like taking time to review what you have completed thus far before you proceed. The Sun card is also, again, happiness, new opportunities. Whatever the news is, you'll be happy about it. But now you're waiting for perhaps a callback, or perhaps the next appointment for the interview process, or perhaps you're waiting for more information on how to proceed and move forward. You're doing surveys, or you're, again, testing your product or service. You're seeing if it's a viable situation. You could be like researching the market, looking at competitors, making sure that you're dotting your I's and crossing your T's, but you are happy with where you are. You're feeling more creative, more confident, more inspired. This is good news here. Spirit guides, more information for the collective, please, for the next 24 to 48 hours. Okay, Page of Cups and the 5 of Pentacles. That took a turn. We'll see the Magician. I figure the Magician will be here. Okay, so there could be a disappointment. Okay, so if you, for example, receive a callback for the next phase of the interview process, that could lead to, I'm sorry we chose this other candidate more over you because they were more qualified, so on and so forth. Or you're receiving an offer and someone else is like losing out. Someone is losing out. There's a Lover's card here. Someone's going to be chosen over another person. If you're working on a project, you may find there's some challenges as far as like design and development and execution. You may have to go back to the drawing board. There could be some financial constraints as far as executing this project. So, for example, you have an idea to build, to start a fashion line, right? Clothing line. You start a clothing line and you got your sketches done, your illustrations, you have all your designs, but now you're researching how much it would cost to do this, like to start your own clothing line, and you're kind of disappointed about how much money it's going to cost you to do this, and you don't think you have enough money, so you have to find out how to be more resourceful. This is being more resourceful here. So you have limited resources or limited opportunities or some disappointment because I don't want to say poor planning. It's just you didn't see something. The Hangman, you were doing research, and after you did your research, you found out, okay, I may have been a bit too optimistic about things. I have to be more realistic here. So you're being more realistic about the viability of this project because you went full steam ahead and you didn't do much research. You just, move forward based on your passion or your interests. Or when it comes to a job opportunity, the other candidate could also be really talented or really experienced, and they have just as much to offer as you do, but they may have a more compatible personality, or they, I don't know. They may have a slight edge over you. So this is a mixed message, or bittersweet, or mixed blessing. It's a mixed blessing here. The Page of Cups is not negative, but this could be an apology. Like, I'm sorry we chose someone else over you, or dang, I have to regroup and basically like figure out how I'm going to do this without something that you thought you needed. So again, you could have had an idea to start something without looking at the economic viability of it, your own budget. You could, like, God forbid, lose your job, and then that could affect your the project's development. So you could have been banking on like a severance pay, some sort of payout, or banking on unemployment, something like that. Something does not pan out the way you expect, and now you have to regroup, Magician. You have to regroup, and you have to be resourceful. You have to be creative. This is Magician, very creative, to kind of get around or work around this disappointment. The Five of Pentacles really isn't a happy situation here, honestly, but you're making the best of it. And it's not the Ten of Swords, right? It's not the Tower. It's not the World card. It's not the Death card. It's just now you're going to have to be more resourceful and regroup. And that could demotivate you a bit, because you could have started off as like the King of Cups. Oh my God, I'm so excited about this. I'm passionate about this. And then you find out the reality of some of the constraints you'll have to deal with if it's a business. And you're like, dang, I thought I would have this much money to do this, but I don't have as much money. So you could be rejected for a loan or a grant, or again, you don't have as much money as you thought you did, or you may need more money than you currently have, or there is some financial constraints here. Let me clarify that, please. Because we have the Eight of Earth and the Five of Pentacles. So we go from 8 to 5. You may have to like regroup and figure out a more cost-effective way of doing this, of starting this business. Or again, someone may be choosing over you for an opportunity if you were like competing for a job. The Moon card, some sort of deception, confusion. Yeah, you weren't clear about Queen of Pentacles. You weren't like, I think you were too optimistic about the potential here. Not saying that the project or this opportunity isn't viable. It's just that you weren't aware of some hidden things. Like there could be some job losses in the future, and that could affect the viability of this. So you could have been funding this project with your money from your job, and now you don't have that money and you're dependent on unemployment, right? Something like that. So your income is cut by 75%. So now you don't have as much money as you thought you did to do this. And so maybe you were trying to pay consultants or hire people who would help you with this, and now you can't afford to do that. So you may have to be more resourceful and use what you have to get what you want. You don't really have much wiggle room financially to do certain things. So you have to rebudget, be resourceful. This could apply to you if you have a Pisces ascendant or an Aquarius rising sign potentially, or even Scorpio rising, Scorpio sun, but also potentially Leo rising or Leo sun as well. The sun card is here: Leo, Gemini, Pisces, Gemini again. So yeah, you're going to have to regroup. You're going to have to regroup. And that's not a bad thing. It's just a thing, right? It's life. So you could have been a bit too enthusiastic and did not plan carefully enough. You went straight to work, which is okay, but now you have to regroup. You go from 8 to 3. It didn't go from 8 to 8 to 5. It didn't go from 8 to 2 or whatever. You still have resources, but not as much as you thought you did. The Fool card and the Three of Cups, yeah. There are several options to choose from. We go from the 3 to the 2, and then the 2 to the 1. So this is like a really enthusiastic, no holds barred. Let me go forward with this without even thinking about it or planning too carefully. You went straight from idea to execution. We didn't start off with the Ace of Pentacles or the 2 or the 3 or the 4. You went straight from idea to 8 of Earth. I'm going to put this into practice. So I'm going to execute this or implement this plan. Or if it's a job situation, there could have been several other candidates for this position, and you're like, yay, I made it to the next level. Now there's only 2 people. You may not be chosen for this job opportunity. Or if you are chosen, you may not receive as much money as you thought you would. It's not paying as much money, or someone else loses out for you to get this opportunity. But I clarified with the Moon card, this is like self-deception or delusion. You thought you had something, but you didn't have it. You thought you had it in the bag, but it didn't work out. I'm sensing more disappointment than happiness here. So yeah, clarify the Sun card and the Hanged Man, please. Sun card and the Hanged Man. So after doing some market research, evaluating or assessing something, you're realizing, damn, this may cost more money than I have. Or Ace of Wands. Yeah, Ace of Wands, right? Queen of Cups, Temperance, the Emperor, 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, you thought you had more than you did. We had the 8, then the 9, then the 5. So some unexpected thing can happen. Yeah, something unexpected can happen as it pertains to like your finances. You could receive some unfortunate news. I knew that would come up somehow. Some unfortunate news could come up. Justice, 5 of Cups. Yeah. Because you go from I knew that either the king or queen would be here. You go, like, your enthusiasm wanes. You don't lose your vision, or this, you don't lose hope. It's just you have to regroup. We go from, then we have the 8 and the 9, the Emperor. You're doing good, and then something happens where you're like financially not as stable as you thought, or you were rejected for a loan or a grant, or you lose your job. In some extreme cases with the 5 of Pentacles and the Death card and the 5 of Cups, you could lose out on some resources you thought you had in the bag. The Emperor could be like a bank, some sort of financial institution. You thought, I mean, they could have promised you something, and then something changed unexpectedly. Considering the socio-political and economic climate, this kind of makes sense. A lot of people are losing their jobs. I heard that the DNC is firing like a significant percentage of their staff. Boeing is firing a lot of staff. The federal government is cutting their budget, and so a lot of people are like tightening their belts. So resources that may have been promised may not come through. There may be there may be some fault. Something may fall through. A contract may fall through. You were like, okay, someone said, yeah, you put the application in, you're pretty much guaranteed this money because of whatever, right? But then something happens with the budget for the organization and it falls through. You don't have the money anymore. And now you're going to have to do this without that support, whatever this project is. On the other hand, it could be, again, applying for a job and you reach a certain level, like you're at phase 2 or 3. You're beating out the competition or other candidates and you think you have it in the bag, but you receive an unexpected message. It's not a coincidence that we have the Death card, 9 of Pentacles, and then the 5 of Pentacles. And then the 5 of Cups. So this is like what you don't see this coming. Things are going full steam ahead, and there's an abrupt stop with the 5 of Pentacles here and the Moon card. So you go from the Queen of Cups to the Page of Cups, not the Knight, the Page. So yeah, you're demoralized, or you're feeling a bit depressed or down or disappointed here. because of this news, but you're not going to give up. You just have to regroup. Okay. What will happen if the collective continues with this path? What will happen if the collective continues with this? The Hierophant and the Seven of Cups. Sorry, the High Priestess and the Seven of Cups. And the Page of Swords. You're doing more research. There could be some confusion how to proceed. You're doing more research. You see her has the computer here. She's doing more research. Like, you're going to figure out, okay, how do I get this done without what I expected to have? I have bills to pay. I got to take care of my kids. I got to make money. I have this much money left in the bank. It's like, it's so many things you have to consider. But you're going to move forward. You're going to proceed. But now you're trying to figure out the best way of doing this without having as much money as you thought you did. As you can see, there's no pentacles here. There's just cups. All the pentacles already came out for the most part. Most of them already came out. So you're waiting. You're waiting for something to come through. But like, you're waiting and it's like, damn, bad news. Or unfortunate news or disappointing news. Now I'm saying bad news. Disappointing news. You're disappointed. But you're not going to stop. You're just going to try to figure out how to do this. Yeah, hold on. Spirit guides, message for the collective for the next 24 to 48 hours, please. You're going to have to regroup. Be flexible, be adaptable. Don't give up. This particular path may be closed, like that financial resource may not be accessible to you anymore. This particular job may not be available to you anymore, but you can still apply for other jobs, or you'll still have access to some resources. You don't go to the Two of Pentacles or the Three, you go to the Five, from the 8 and the 9. So you still have some money, but you're going to have to be more resourceful with it. Like, you may have wanted to spend money on consultants or hire part-time staff. You don't have that anymore. You may have to do more work on your own by yourself, or use technology to fill in the gaps for labor. Mysticism, which looks similar to this High Priestess card. Yeah, there's something that you don't expect to happen. Grief, yeah. Some disappointment. One more, please. It's like a secret, not secret, but you didn't expect it. Quest. A different path. She's on a different path now from her child. So yeah, you're going to have to reevaluate and then pivot. If you're not flexible, if you're not adaptable, if you're not optimistic about this, then you're going to say, oh my God, I can't do it. No, keep going. I do sense that you're losing. You have a little bit of disappointment here. You could be feeling demoralized. It does not matter. Just keep going. Stay focused on the path or the goal. Okay? Don't get too discouraged, because it's just a temporary setback. And with Saturn placements, Saturn wants us to work hard to prove that we really want what we want. And these disappointments are just to help us to cultivate whatever skills or knowledge or tools or experience or work ethic or discipline that we need to maintain or manage this business once it becomes successful. So you're going through the hard knocks now, and these disappointments are helping you to become a successful business owner in the future. So you need to develop some sort of resilience or determination for this to happen. And then even with let me see, a job, right? This may not be the right job for you. Or if it's the right job for you, what are you missing from your resume that gave this person that you're basically competing against an advantage over you? Now you have an opportunity to upskill, right? Go back to school, get a certification, I don't know, do some training programs. There are plenty of them online. Like, how do you make yourself more competitive in the workforce? So it's only for your benefit. You don't have enough of what you need to move to the next level. Essentially, that's what it is. Saturn's saying to you, You need more. You need more resources. You need more creativity. You need more time. You need more discipline. You need whatever. You have to be more responsible. It's something that you have to do to get to the next level. And it's not just about passion and information or knowledge or experience. You also need resilience. You need to get tough skin. So this is like character building. This is like a character building experience. It's not to knock you off your path. It's to make sure that once you do become successful, you can handle it because you've gone through these experiences at the outset. You've gone through a lot of disappointments, setbacks, having to scrimp and save and like prove how much you wanted this. You're putting in elbow grease. Now you're not relying on, like, for example, are you only doing this because it's comfortable? Like, what are you willing to sacrifice to accomplish this goal? Right? Do you need to sacrifice your money, sacrifice time, sacrifice luxuries, your job? Like, what are you willing to sacrifice to accomplish this? Some of you guys may have to make some sacrifices to get this done. So you may have to downsize, right? Get a smaller place that costs less money, but it's all for the greater good. If you're really passionate about this business or this idea, you'll make the sacrifice you need to make in order to get this done. It's not going to be easy, but Saturn doesn't like easy. Running a business is not easy. Building an empire is not easy, right? Having a high-paying job for the most part is not easy. It's a lot of stress, a lot of expectations. So yeah, you have to make sure that you're prepared for this. Not just financially and academically or like your credentials or your experience, but you need the character building to get this done too. You may have had an easy time of it. Like you may have been able to secure jobs or opportunities without much effort in the past. Now with Saturn's placements here, you have to work a little harder to get what you want. Doesn't mean you're not going to get it. It just means that you have to make more sacrifices for the time being. Okay. Spirit guide, what is the energy for the collective for the next 24 to 48 hours, please? The moon card. This is how we're feeling, our emotional needs. So you're emotionally connected to this project. It's something you're passionate about. It's the High Priestess here. I'm seeing these two connected. This project or this situation has to be a source of comfort for you. It's like, in spite of all the obstacles and challenges you may face, you have to treat it as if like this is your home or this is your family or this is your baby. It may take about 9 months for this thing to execute fully, or by the next, I would say, I don't want to say full moon. Depends. Depends. The eclipses are moving into Pisces and Virgo. So Pisces represents our beliefs, and Virgo represents like the work that we do in order to fulfill our beliefs, or in order to it represents the lifestyle that we have that aligns with our beliefs. So your belief systems determine your work ethic or your attitude towards work or the way that you live on a daily basis. So if you really believe in this, you'll work toward it. You're not going to stop because of a small setback. You have resources, just not as many as you'd like. So you're not going to be able to do this like in comfort. Because if you're comfortable, then, I mean, there's nothing wrong being comfortable, but Saturn doesn't like you to be comfortable because you're not sacrificing anything, right? So now it becomes a hobby instead of a passion. It's easy to do things that are comfortable. That doesn't build much character. Can you get this done while you're uncomfortable, while you're struggling financially, right? Do you have enough faith in yourself to do this without external help or resources? Do you believe in yourself enough to get this done? That's the character building lesson here. It's easy to believe in yourself when things are easy. Can you believe in yourself when things are more challenging? You'll have what you need to get this done, but you have to be creative and you have to believe in what you're doing. And your belief systems or your belief about this should inform your work, how you're going about this. And when you're doing Virgo is about persistence, discipline, being practical, being humble, being patient, analytical, objective, rational. Get out of your feelings. The universe is not against you. It's not the wrong path for you. That's not what it is. You're being tested right now. And you're going to have to prove to the universe that you want what you actually want. If you don't want it that bad, then why are you doing it? For the money? Then it won't work. You'll be at 5 Pentacles. Right? If you truly believe in it, you'll do it for free. Not saying you won't receive any financial reward for it. That's not the point. Saturn wants us to think about the bigger picture. And again, the character building isn't for any sort of like consolation prize. Your character is supposed to be built for the sake of, right, your own improvement. So this is not just for money. You're doing this for your own spiritual development, your own maturation. It's not about the money. The money is tertiary here. Do you believe in what you're trying to present to the world or what you're trying to create? If you do, then that's its own reward. With Virgo, hard work is its own reward, or work is its own reward. I'm not saying to be a slave. No, because you're going to have to be resourceful with your energy too. Don't burn yourself out. That's what I mean by sacrificing, right? What are you willing to sacrifice to get this done? Because you won't have as much resources that you think you do, that you think you need to get this done. So you'll have limited resources, which means that you'll have to be more efficient, more responsible, more prudent, more practical when it comes to your finances. You must do that. But it can be done. It won't be done in absolute comfort. There may be days where you may not have 3 meals. You may have 2 meals. Or you may have to cut off certain services, Netflix or whatever. You may have to downsize, move into a smaller place so that you can pay your bills without having to worry about getting another job so you can do this, right? Something like that. There's some sacrifice that must be made. The moon, spirit guides. What is the energy for the collective for the next 24 to 48 hours, please? We have Aries, moon in Aries. Aries is about leadership. It is about forging ahead in spite of all the obstacles. It's about resilience, being spontaneous, having confidence, not allowing setbacks to deter you from your path. So you have to be really passionate about this. Aries does not let disappointments get them down. They keep moving ahead. They're very optimistic about their goals. Saturn will be into Aries next year. So this is definitely character building in preparation for that transit. So whatever sacrifice you make right now, you will reap the rewards of them when Saturn goes into Aries. It may be a bit challenging, a little at first, because you're not used to it. But you'll get in your stride, and then you'll be able to do this really well. You'll be happy with the sacrifice you've made. Because whatever you're learning right now will be helpful or useful for your business going forward. Spirit guides, energy for the collective for the next 24 to 48 hours, please. The seventh house. 7th house is a house of relationships, business partnerships. Aries in the 7th house is not necessarily the ideal situation here. There's competition in the workplace, competition for resources and assets, but you may have to, the moon in the 7th house, you may have to lean on support from your family and friends. You may have to get support from your family and friends, potentially, or a partner, if you have a partner. Some of you may have to sacrifice a relationship also to do this. Like if you're in a toxic, abusive, dysfunctional, imbalanced relationship, then you may have to let that go to get this done. Or if you've been the one doing all the work in your relationship, meaning, all of the household responsibilities, dishes and cleaning and laundry and picking up the kids from school, you're going to have to lean on your partner for support. So they'll have to pick up some of the slack. If you lose your job and you're starting this business, they may have to do more work to help out, especially if there's been an imbalance when it comes to like the division of labor in the household. So if you've been doing 70% of the work in the household and working and you may have to split that to 50-50 or 60-40. Somebody has to pick up the slack in the household. Or if you lose your job in exchange for, your partner getting a second job, you may have to do more work in the household. There has to be some little balance here. The Justice card did come out with the Ace of Wands. There has to be like a rebalancing of energies. You guys could have been wasteful, impulsive, Aries is debilitated in the 7th house. Yeah, okay. So this situation that you're in, whatever you're trying to create or build or start, it has to take priority over your relationships. Like, you must put your own needs first here to get this done. The Moon card is here also. You have to put your needs first, or something has to be sacrificed for this to work. You could be wasting time in your relationship. You don't need permission from your partner to do this, but if you're in a relationship with someone, you're married and you're sharing finances or you're sharing a household, you have to talk to them about, okay, I'm trying to start this business. Give me 6 months, give me a year to do this because I don't have what I thought I would have. I need help here. I need patience. Give me some time. I'll get it together. And it may work out for you, okay? All right, collective, I'll leave it there. Thank you for listening. I look forward to hearing your feedback. If you want to order a personal reading from me, the link is in the description box. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll speak to you soon.